Hey Hunters, HaloZoo here for another Prehistoric Kingdom all-in-one park. We are going on to the penultimate area right here with the hadrosaurs. Uh, so this is going to be a two-parter as well. I've decided that these three are all going to be two parts. Especially because this is a 10 animal area and there's two with 4 biomes. How fun. But anyway, we're going to do Edmontosaurus, Lambeosaurus, and Iguanodon here today. Uh, shall we rip the band-aid off and do an Exons? Well, actually, I'm going to do Lambeosaurus first, because I don't like Lambeosaurus. I'll be honest. I think it's... Yeah, I think it's honestly one of my least favorites in this game. But we're going to add it all the same. And it's mostly because I just don't like the skins that much. Especially because I feel like there's not enough sexual dimorphism. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's one of my complaints in this game that some animals just don't feel like they have it as pronounced as I would like. Like, I feel like this should be brighter and more obvious that there is the sexual dimorphism. And then equine, I don't... Yeah. Equine doesn't even really have sexual dimorphism, which feels wrong. And then cosmic is the, like, it's night and day different. But I wish the female was a bit more colorful, but I can understand why. I think I'm going to go chestnuts. So these guys really like to be crowded, so we're going to go 12 with them. There we go. 12 Lambeosauruses. And yeah. Also, the only one that's not going to be here from these is Dryosaurus, which means we only got 6 genera to worry about, but we have... Oh yeah, these guys like fruit, right? Let me double check. Because they're fruit lovers, yeah. Wetland, temperate, coastal. Um, Well, yeah, we're gonna put their water right where you'd expect it, and it's gonna be right here. It's gonna be a decently sized pool, actually, because they do like wetland. So what I'm thinking is we have a wetland segment here. And then we go... Well, here, let's just cover this all in wetland grass so I know, hey, this has no grassland like I want for most animals this episode. Though we are going to have a grassland one here. Ironically. Because apparently right now there's more dinosaurs that like grassland. And I mean non-avian dinosaurs too. More non-avian dinos like grassland than mammals currently. Though I think Panthera atrox is gonna like grassland. I don't know, but I think it will. I don't know. It's one of those, like, I don't really know enough about it to judge whether or not it will be a grassland lover. But I wouldn't be surprised if that one was. It's... I mean, you know, ultimately it's like... I did not want that. Smooth that out a bit. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Anyway, landscape. Actually, I need... So I'm thinking we have a... And then we have the coastal, which I'm actually going to mark with substrate for now. But this is where their house is going to be, or like their shelter. So they live in the coastal forest, and then... There we go. Okay, I think this might turn out lovely. I hope. Because, yeah. This is going to be better to build than Tarbo. Because screw Tarbo. I'll be honest, I am not looking forward to Tarbo. How big is Lambio, actually? Let's double check what the size is. Just above the fence. Okay, so I probably need... Yeah, I need this one. Oh, almost forgot to angle snap. Such rookie mistakes. I'm actually going to try a special method that I know of. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use some fencing to board up this deal. So we're actually going to edit group. Will this let me? No. Well, actually, can I... Structural elements, maybe? No. Well, that doesn't... Yeah, so we're actually going to move this out a bit. Here, we'll move it a bit. No, dang it. Anyway, I'm actually going to see if this works for what I'm trying to do. Okay, this works now. So we can just place these. So we're going to angle snap this. So what we're doing here is... basically doing a makeshift private shelter. So the animals have privacy in here, but they can still go in and out. So basically they have... a safe place to lay down, because these fences block all vision, so they'll be just fine to lay in here. Actually need to go with medium. There we go. Okay. Woo! Excuse me. I fully apologize for that. Yeah, we're not getting plants around this. Well, unless I... There we go. Move this up slightly. Those want to be connected to path for some ungodly reason. I don't know why, but they hate me. And then... boom. So that should give us... Still no plants here. Oh my gosh, these... I wish I could modify the dead zone for those stupid things. They... Because, like, I really want the trees right up against this. I don't want this little dead zone area. Also, I'm just going to delete the fence now. Because I've got this where I want it, so I don't need the fence anymore. But this thing is... This exhibit's actually really small. That's what this has shown me. It's pathetically small. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to expand the coastal area a bit and then have it less curved at the end. So like that. There we go. Okay, that gives us a bit more coastal space to work with. And then temperate is going to be... There. There we go. I think I'm happy with this. Let's go back to coastal and... let's undo that. Let's go to redwood mode. Give a small density. Let's go to sit here with the random redwood planting. Okay, looking for gaps where we need the redwoods. Because I want a good covering of redwoods. Like, that's what I always go for, so... There we go. I think that's a good indents enough. Maybe a bit too dense, actually. Yeah, that's actually really dense. But we'll make do. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna remove the big redwoods from here. And what we're gonna do, because this exhibit's, I think, ultimately a bit too small for what I'm trying to do here. And we're just gonna go with non-ferns first. Because I think this ended up being a bit too dense with redwoods. So we have to do something slightly different in order to make this work. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna go 15 meters on a 10%, and then we're gonna add the Scots pines. So I think this should make for a nice enough forest, and then oh, but I forgot how wings. Oh my gosh. Doesn't help when you because I can't really do any bigger on the brush because that's too big. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of just hope this works out. Oh, because it was because I accidentally went to one wide, I think. This is getting way too dense. Okay, I think I have the idea now. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to also have to enable tree ferns, I think, to get the kind of look I'm going for. Okay, that... That actually doesn't look half bad, I don't think. But we're still going to go into a kind of like plant redwoods mode. And we're going to disable the really small one. So when I press this button, yeah, it always gives me a big redwood. So then we can sprinkle these around where I feel like we need more ground tree coverage. We'll get a bigger redwood right where I want it. Approximately, because I can't have it like do random plants on a 1 meter brush. Which would actually be really cool if I could actually set it to like... We're going to add more tree ferns because, of course I am. Because ferns, you know? It's not me if I'm not planting a million ferns. Okay. Because it is coastal, so we gotta make sure our fern count's up, you know? Okay, so then we just deselect all and select our little ferns. And then make sure we get this really dense. That just looks so good, you know? Ah, it's so nice planting a bunch of ferns. So nice. Okay, and then we're going to go to 5 meters and 100%. For you know what? Making an entrance covered in ferns. Yes! And I think I'm actually going to go with... I mean, we're around here. There's actually way more ferns, too. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Anyway. That should cover just about everything. And then we want to shrink right back down to 10 meters. Get substrate and... make sure that's marked by substrate. There we go. So there is the Lambio coastal forest. So we're going to put their vegetation here. Their fruit's going to be on the other end. So we're actually going to place that now. And this is fruit because it feels weird to have fruit in the coastal area because there's not really fruit trees that you'd have there. There we go. Okay, there we are. It's a very dense forest, but oh well. It works. Okay, now the temperate area. Least favorite biome. %, I guess. maybe 20 meter will work better. Okay, let's be a bit more like this, I guess. There, I guess that's good. Now we go here and just let it all go out. There we go. I think this is fine. I'm kind of regretting how dense the bamboo is here, but oh well, it works. It'll be fine. I don't really care. I don't want to waste too much time on these guys. I don't like them. I don't like them, so they don't get much attention. That's how it goes. There we go. And then we'll just select all of these. And then go crazy with the ground cover. There we go. Okay. So there is the Lambio area. And I guess we might as well release these guys. How is crowding? Oh, that's fine. Forest isn't what they actually care about, but I don't care. Alright, there is Lambiosauruses. I kind of regret putting so many, but at least they'll be visible. At least in theory, you'll always be able to see one. Okay, so up next we have Iguanodon, which I think I'm going to give... I'm going to have less of these guys because I think they're pretty big. Yeah. So I think I'm going to have 10 or 8. I don't know. Do I want rusted or Barian? Yeah, I think I like Barian. I think I'm actually going to go with 6 and have these be more solitary. But these are grassland wetland scrub, so... I'm thinking we have a... Well, we're definitely having a wetland here, so... And then they're going to have, I guess, shelter in the scrub. And I don't actually have to worry about... I kind of want it to be a much drier... Or feel like a much drier region. So I'm going to have like a small wetland area here. There we go. Okay, there's the mud. So there's a little wetland. And we're also going to have a little scrubland here. So I'm going to mark this with clay to start off with. So I want... Oh, these guys are going to need a big shelter too, aren't they? So we're going to make sure we got plenty of room in it. Okay, so what I'm going to do... I think I'm actually going to put it on a side. Like sideways. So... like this. I think this is going to end up being better long term. And then we're going to have... So everything but this. So we need all of this. Moved forwards and up. Well, we got this part working. Okay, so... Annihilate the bendy palms! Die. Go die in a hole and never come back, bendy palms. Absolutely despise them. They're just hideous plants. There we go. Okay. Now then, let's go there. Okay. That gives me more scrubland to work with. So we're actually gonna remove our ground cover. Because I think that because realistically it just serves to make my forest feel less dense, so there we go. Okay. Now then, we're gonna select these all together. And this is gonna make up our ground cover. There we go. So this gives the iguanodons a nice area to kind of hide and relax in. Which is my main goal for this area. So that's kind of what I envision it as. There we go. Okay. So then, move on to the grassland segment. So I'm actually going to put the tarwort with this, because I think if I have it like this, and then we go 30 meters maybe? So this does end up being an open, but Yeah, I think that's perfect. It's well shaded, but it gives us a very good, like, solid, like, you know, it's clearly open and stuff, but it's beautiful. Yeah, it's awesome. I think those are maybe a bit close. There we go. Okay. It's kind of open grassland, canopy kind of feel. I like it. I think maybe I'll cut down a few trees. Kind of open the place up a bit. There we go. Okay. There we go. There we go. That's a very open savanna-ish segment. Oh, yeah, I believe in absolutely plant more grass. Just need to have just to make sure we got the grassland part down. I kind of hope they expanded the ground cover on this biome, because I think it would be nice if some prairie flowers were added in here. I think that would look wonderful. But, yeah, it is right now. Yeah. Okay, oh gosh, that's very verdant, but I like it. Well, there we go. Okay, so Iguanodon was not a fruit lover, was it? Yeah, it was just plants. Oh. My FPS is already cut in half. Great. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah. Well, this was kind of to be expected, you know? It's not like I expected it to not, be absolutely horrendous. There we go. That's a good spot for it, and then... Yes, this is a good spot. Well... Yeah, it's actually a terrible spot for it. This is a better spot for it. There we go. Okay. But now we're going to select all. And put them in here. And there's our lovely iguanodon. Who actually wants more water. Okay, well... Doesn't matter, we're not playing with those rules. Okay, get my FPS back real quick. Now, Edmontosauruses! Hello, this is gonna be frickin' fun! Right? Oh, boy. Okay, this is gonna be a tenor. Or actually, 12, 10, 6. I think is a good number. So, we're gonna have only 6 of the kook. But we're gonna go up from there. So, there's 6 of these guys. And then... They like temperate... Yeah, temperate... They're pretty much the same as... the Pachyrhinosaurus. So we're going to cover their enclosure in tundra grass. So that way when I make the temperate area, which is where their water is, which is... down, up, up. Down, down. So we'll put their water here. They're gonna make a little temperate forest here. There we go. Okay. How... Oh, they're shorter than the fence. These guys are tiny. Yeah, kook. Pretty small. I'd actually get away with a smaller house, too. Haha! Because this one goes just over the fence. It'd be great. And then... Oh yeah, I want medium for this one. Because other stuff doesn't really work. There we go. Okay. So then we go over to tundra foliage. I kind of wish they swapped the places of tundra or temperate and coastal in the plants menu. Just because I feel like, because you never see the coastal with tundra stuff. It's always temperate and, because it's never coastal and tundra. It's always, and I mean always, like, or like, you know, it's always temperate and tundra. It's never coastal and tundra. Like, I mean, it's one of those little things, like, it doesn't really matter too much, actually. In the grand scheme of things, at least. It's, you know, it's a minor nitpick, but it'd just be nice to have, like, those two swapped, because I feel like coastal's more of a warmer environment anyway. Because redwoods are only in California, which aren't that far north. There's, like, not really any tundra up far north. There we go. Okay, so this will lead us on to... Let's get our temperate area done. Because Lord knows I'm not going to like it too much. I'm not even going to use bamboo this time. Once again, kind of wish I could change the weight of certain plants. It had better control of, like, the percentages and stuff. It's... Also, I wish 5% actually freaking worked. Because it doesn't. Like, it really doesn't work. I swear. Yeah, that's fine. And of course, we'll give them a ground cover. Cover up this area. This ground. There we go. I think that's fine. So then we have the tundra forest, which is... So it's actually boreal, but I call it tundra. Because originally going to be tundra, and then they changed how the system worked. Or, like, to, like, climates or something. It's still the biome system, but... which I greatly prefer. And I will say, like, I mentioned it before, but I don't know. This game is just... I find it so much more interesting to actually create zoos in this one compared to Planet Zoo. Planet Zoo, I don't... You know, it's... I mean, and I think we can all agree, Planet Zoo's building tools, they actually kind of suck, you know? And I don't like the terrain system where it's like, oh, you gotta have a certain type of terrain and all that. Like, ugh, hate it. That's why I'm glad this has the biome system. And why, like, for my own, like, zoo game projects, I fully intend to go with biomes as well. Because I think the biome system just... It gives players more freedom to make the terrain what they want it to be. So you have a lot more control over what your terrain looks like and all of that. And you have the added benefit of, you know, it's a lot easier for casual players to understand and pick up and play. Plus, it means that players aren't bogged down by having to do all sorts of little individual things. Because here I can just, you know, make an exhibit relatively quick, actually, all things considered. Pretty sure Creek Picensis does not like fruit. No, they do like fruit. Yeah, they all like fruit. I'm going to do Regalis next, but... Oh, gosh. That was some lag. Just because I want to save Anectons for last, because Anectons is a frickin' Hell Creek one. Yay. Because as you've probably seen with Hell Creek, it's one of the more annoying ones to try and get all the biomes done, because Hell Creek involves 4 biomes. Yeah, it's consistently annoying. Granted, it's not the only formation where there's 4 biomes involved, but at the very least, it just ends up being meh. There we go. Look, nice and at home. It's really well covered in forest, which I think is great. So, Montosaurus regalis with the 12. So there are 12 of these guys. They like a coastal swamp. So what we're going to do here is, I think, put up. Yeah. This is where we'll put their water. Which I'm actually going to make the Regalis pool a bit bigger. Because for Regalis, I have a lot more room to work with. As in, infinitely more room to work with compared to what I'm going to be dealing with for Anectons. Which, yeah. Oh boy, I'm dreading it already. But at the very least, right now we can just worry about, getting this wetlandified. So I can then plant the coastal grass, which is going to go from like here down. Voila! This is probably the best one so far because if not the only good one, because the others are gonna be, oh boy, because this one's also gonna be pesky, and that one's gonna be, ugh. And this one involves frickin' temperate too, which is, yeah, just, yeah. I'm sure some people like the temperate palette, but I don't. And then Regalis is actually, I'm gonna grab a male. Yeah, they're just above the fence, so I think we're gonna have to go with that slightly bigger one. But that does not matter because this one is actually going to be much easier to deal with. No, we're not going to try and copy it. Instead, we're going to put, like, there. Boom. There we go. There we go. Voila. There we go. It's all looking good so far. Okay. We got our setup for Regalis's home. Now I just need... make sure we get their little pond all situated. There we go. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna pause the recording real quick. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I'm back in the game. Okay, well, yeah, let's remove the trees from the water itself, because I don't actually want the trees in the water. Oh, I'm out of it. There we go. Voila? Question mark? There we go. You know what? That was... There we go. There we are. Oh. Okay. So there we go. Okay. Now then. There we go. There we are. I think that's a good swamp. A nice swampy swamp. Right? Alright. And now the fun part. Which is called the coastal segment. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I don't want this one. I'm gonna slightly increase the density. And then we're gonna go to this. Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. So that gives us a bit denser of a forest. And this will give us our fern cover. Because we gotta plant the ferns, you know? Because ferns make everything better. Gotta make sure we get our fern count up really good on the ground cover ferns. Because, of course, we will. And voila! All the ferns have been planted. There we go. That's pretty darn good. It's a lot of dense forest, but I like it. You know? It's always nice. Hmm. The thing is, I think there's a few tree ferns where I don't want them. There we go. Okay, that's what I want. And then what we're going to do now is go to food. And give our Edmontos some food to eat, you know? We're going to have our Edmontos starving. Not our regal Edmontosauruses. Because these are royal ones, you know. Not just your tundra-loving peasants or good old the very unlucky ones in Elk Creek. That's a fun place to live, I imagine. So let's grab our 12 Regalis. Yeah, this is good. Just casually going through the densest forest of all, but don't worry about it. Just gonna paint some substrate down here. Here we go. There we go. Okay, yeah. That's cool. So, last but not least, the Anectons. And we're gonna have 10 of these? Yeah. So these guys are big. It's going to be a bit problematic to deal with, but we'll manage. So I don't remember what I was going to... Was this a tropical focus, or... Oh, Lord. The lag! The lag! No, this was... wetland focused. Okay. So we're going to focus on wetland with this one. Actually. So I need a bigger wetland segment. Which means wetland's the biggest one. So... It's even larger then. But first off, we're going to actually cover this exhibit in wetland grass, because that's the easiest to identify. So, there we go. Okay, we got our wetland grass. There we go. So there's our pool of water. So how we're going to do this? Huh. It's actually quite a dilemma. So I think what I can do, because I don't have much room to work with, but because I need a temperate and then a coastal segment. So I'm thinking we have a coastal area in the north for certain. And I'm going to need a tropical, so... If we just, like... This is a tropical segment, and this is a temperate? This could work. This could work. Yeah. But I think I actually want... it like this. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's pretty good. And then let's make sure this is... Give us a bit more wetland. Yeah, I think that's about as good as we're getting out of this. It's not amazing, but it works. Let's get the temperate out of the way, because we know I'm not going to like it. Let's just save myself the trouble. It just... What if we... Yeah, it did not turn out well. But... Okay, I'm thinking... What we can do is just... Oh. Not that. Not that! And be way more methodical with it. So... There we go. That's as good as we're getting, I guess. There we go. There we are. Yeah, that works. So... oh, let's deselect all. Gotta make sure our cape-oak canopy is done. Because we still gotta do it. Yeah. Voila! My frames are dying! But... well, this episode's just gonna get more and more cursed with the frame rate, but oh well. That's about what we expected. Well, at least what I expected. Screw you, bendy palms. I really hope in, like, one of the next updates they remove bendy palms. Because I really freaking hate them. They're awful. Just the worst. Not looking forward to doing T-Rex, because that's the temperate one, but... which is going to be freaking awful. But I think I'm going to make it more of a... or attempt to make it more of a sparse area. The only mercy I have is that it's going to be a... it's going to be smaller, so... or a little bit larger, I mean. But... I forgot I did not want to do K-Pokes till the end, but oh well. This is the last enclosure of today, so... it'll be fine, I hope. There we go. Need some more ground cover along the fence line, I think. Yeah, that works. It is very verdant and lush, but yeah, that's about what I'd expect out of it. So let's actually get the grass in then. No. I'll just have to put it to the proper width. So there we go. Voila! And then temperate grass. Goes right along here. To here. And then dragging along there. And then from here we're just filling in. There we go. And then we can actually paint the coastal grass as well. Which we don't even need the small brush for because it actually paints along like that. Boom! There we go. Now then, I need to place the shelter for them. Which we're not going to do the normal style for. We're going to use what I've been doing because I need to make it where aha. Hmm. Actually, no. Delete this segment of fence. And this segment, actually. In favor of doing this, so why is that? Why was that? Oh, it was displaying wrong, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Oh, well. That's good enough. Bam. Actually, I don't want that. I need... There we go. There we go. Okay. Anyway. Now it's time for the open coastal forest. There we go. I think that's good enough for that part. There we go. Now let's really make sure we get the ferns down here. For enectins, and then... There we go. There we go. That's looking pretty nice. Kind of cobbled together, but it's something that works, you know? So now we have to worry about the next one, which is the wetland. So, what's that bad? I think I'm gonna go, yeah, 30 meter, 10%. Hmm. Yeah, no, that just does not work. There we go. There, I think that's good. And then... there we go. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. There we go. There we are. That opens up our pond for Edmontosaurus annectens. And then all that's left now is the food. So plants here, or that'll be fruit, and this will be normal plants, as per usual for these. So let's select this and make it fruit. I'm gonna delete that tree. We're gonna make this a fruit feeder. And then we're gonna plant a random tall tree. Right. Oh. Yeah, it works. Yeah, it works. Okay, so now I just need ice blocks. Because we can't get those. On the jungle. On temperate. One in the coastal. And voila! We are ready for Edmontosaurus annectens. Select all, release some animals. Oh, that's a melanistic one. Haha! That looks freaking weird. But here we go. So this has been definitely quite an episode. We got 5 of the 10 hadrosaurs, so that's halfway through. We got Edmontosauruses, all 3 species of them, and then Lambeosaurus and Iguanodon. And this area lags the heck out of me. As expected. But anyway, without further ado, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the All-in-One Zoo as I get closer and closer to finishing it. So like and subscribe to stay tuned for more of this and whatever the next series is, which will be announced in 3 episodes now. That's going to be fun. Anyway, there may be other videos in between. I'm half expecting a 1D&D video anytime soon. But without further ado, see y'all next time! HaloZoo out.